Good afternoon, Internet. It is Thursday, June the 11th at 1:15, and we all know what that time is. It's one of my favorite times of the day when I get to come here and talk to you, talk to the world, and get out of my headspace, because my headspace is very small. It's not as big as you are. So I can't wait to speak with you. And I can't wait to speak with our guest. Her name is Tegan Miller. She's going to give me a thumbs up because I pronounced it correctly. Yes, good. And Tegan, through a mutual friend, Mickey Sodergren. Why did I say Berg? What is wrong with me, Mickey? I'm so sorry. I don't even know a Soderberg. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, Tegan Miller is a friend of hers, and now I'm going to make her a friend of mine. And she's with the MTC Music Academy, and we're going to talk all about that and just have a great time discussing it. So here she is, Tegan Miller.
Hi.
Hi. How is your atmosphere right now?
My atmosphere. That's a very good question. It's, it's a heavy time right now. But I will say I'm very thankful and fortunate to be here in quarantine with my husband and my cats. And I'm still teaching all my students online, which is wonderful and brings me so much joy. So all of that has brightened up my days for sure.
Well, that's great. It's good that we have this technology now where we can connect with everyone, even though we cannot connect with everyone in a normal way. I'm going to do one quick thing because I am very laggy, and those in the internet know what I mean by being very laggy. So I'm gonna improve my speed, hopefully, and I will not have any more dropouts of you or I.
Oh no! It also, my internet is sometimes.
Think about this again. So sad that we all can't have our huge and just use it all the time.
Yeah.
And what's even fun, even more fun about this conversation right now is I say something, and then I pause.
Yes. Are you frozen? See, I don't even know.
Yeah, we just both went away for a second, so I don't know what's going on here.
Is there something I can do?
And I apologize to everyone out there.
You're good. You're good.
I don't know. Let's try this. How about we try you exiting for a minute and then coming back in?
Yeah, and I'm going to move closer to my router. How about that?
That sounds great.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the internet. And I mean, I'm not the internet. This space isn't the internet, but this is the problem with the internet right now, is that sometimes it's not trustworthy in so many ways. You know what I'm talking about, internet. How can I trust you? How can I hold you in my heart and know that you're doing the right thing for me? I don't know that you are. Are you? Are you indeed? We do have a guest today, and her name is Tegan Miller, and I am waiting for her to return. Yes, Ryan McCurdy, I am the internet. It's so true. It's so true. I have taken it over, and you alone are my one user. So use me, Ryan McCurdy, and enjoy the interwebs, as it were. Am I coming across clearly, at least, Ryan? Give me a thumbs up. Well, I think you just did give me a thumbs up, which is amazing. And now we have 2 viewers, which is also very cool. And I believe Tegan is back now. Yeah, we're peer-to-peer. That's right. And now we're peer-to-peer-to-peer. As a matter of fact, someone has taken over my page. I don't know who that is, but whoever you are, you're in trouble. But I think Tegan is back. Let's see. How's that? Is that better?
You're better. How about me?
I think that is better. Yes. Yeah, you are better. Yes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So we.
Oh no, you froze as soon as you started talking.
Yes, I did freeze. I apologize. Am I back now?
You're back now.
Okay. So what I was saying was, let's be patient with the internet because it's a very evil beast. And also, when we were talking before about your path to where you are now as far as singing goes, we talked about you trained as a classical singer, but it may not be exactly where your heart is.
Right. Yeah, my background is in classical choral music, actually. My undergrad was in vocal music education, and I've been a choir teacher for many years, with a little break in between. We can talk about that later. But I was trained to sing operatically if I would like to, or classically, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I do enjoy singing in choirs, though. There's something about singing with other humans and breathing together and being near each other, which I miss so much right now. But I also love singing all kinds of genres: musical theater, pop, rock, folk, jazz, all of it. I just love singing. So.
That's great. And I guess your introduction to our fair city of Savannah was through the American Traditions Vocal Competition. Is that right?
Yeah. It was just there this February. It was an amazing.
And because you have this wide, yes, yes, it is. So you have this wide area of interest in singing, and I guess you brought that to the table when you did the competition, because that's basically what it's about, having this range of ability. So how'd that go?
Oh, it was amazing. I could speak about it for hours because it was such a transformative experience for me personally. Like, basically, I've been singing my whole life, right? Obviously, I love singing. I've been singing, but I was a fan, like a fangirl of this competition for many years, because my husband Assaf played piano and accompanied many singers there for many years, and so I watched it from afar and was like, oh, maybe one day, and then I would be like, well, no, I'm not good enough for that, and just negative self-talk, which is no good, and I overcame that, so that's good. But something about 2019 made me say, no, this is my year to be brave. So I submitted, got in, obviously, and I'm walking down that very, very long, if you've been there, I'm sure people watching have, the very, very long, oh no, I'm gone.
Okay, oh. I do see you. I'm going to try something real quick.
Okay.
To see if I can fix it. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm just going to switch my connection.
No problem. Hi, everyone. I think I'm still on here.
Real quick.
Chris is frozen. Maybe I'm frozen too. Who knows? Internet is a tricky beast these days. Yeah, I hope it's not my Wi-Fi, because sometimes it does not behave. And I teach lessons online all day long, and I don't even know if you can hear me. I'm just talking. Everyone who's watching, you want to see my cat? Oh, hi.
Hi. It has.
In the crowd with my cat, so.
Oh, well, I'd love to see your cat. Let's bring your cat out.
You want to see him? He's
Yeah.
very skittish. Oh, come here. No, never mind. He doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That's
well,
fine.
he's not camera ready. You know what I mean?
Awesome. I actually think we have a better connection now. I can hear you at the right time.
Yay.
So whatever I did, I think it fixed that situation. So applause, applause, applause.
Yay.
Before we had our brief intermission, we'll call it a commercial break. We were talking about the American Traditions Vocal Competition and how your experience was with that. And you're talking about how amazing it was, but you go into more detail about why it was amazing.
Yes. Okay. So did you hear anything I said about prior to the competition?
I did not. So let's go back to that.
Okay. So my husband, Assaf Gleizner, has been playing for ATC for many years. So I've been a fangirl, just like watching from afar and enjoying the singers. Actually been to the competition a couple of times to watch and just, because it was so amazing and so much talent. And, I would look at these people performing and I would think, maybe one day I can do that. Or, sometimes I'd be like, well, I'm not good enough, which was like I said earlier, which is not good, negative self-talk. We have overcome this, so this is good. So 2019 was my year to be brave. That's what I decided. So I submitted, I entered, got in, obviously. And I was saying right before our brief commercial break, I was walking down that very, very long aisle in the church on my first round for my first song. And I don't know, have you been to the competition?
Yes. Yes.
I assumed you might have. So I was walking down this very long aisle, and in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have never competed in singing in my entire life. Wow. And I had this realization walking up to the stage to perform for the first time in the competition. And it was actually very earth-shattering to me, not in a bad way. It did make me a little nervous. I was already nervous, but I was like, man, I can't believe I've been singing my whole life and I've never sung to be judged in this way, So that was an interesting experience in real time to be dealing with that. And so therefore my first round, I don't remember anything. It was just like blackout, I remember shaking backstage, in the lobby, and my husband comes running. He was like, "You did so great!" He's supposed to be playing. He's got to go back and play some more. He's like, "You did great." I was like, "Did I? I have no idea what happened." But then I moved to the next round, and I was shocked because I was just convinced. I was like, "That was terrible." I was so nervous. I'm sure it sounded terrible. Whatever. So I moved to the next round, which was amazing. And that round I felt super great about. I felt a little more comfortable, and I would settled into the realization that I'm competing. And I didn't make it to the finals, but I did win the People's Choice Award, which was very cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah. I think to that point, there's something to be said about honesty when you're singing. If it comes from a real place, then people know it. And and I'm sure you're amazing, but I think that in and of itself must have pushed it over the edge for you with the crowd, that they became a part of your story.
Yeah, it was really, that's actually, I think, my favorite thing about this competition is, even though it's like, oh, I'm going to, that's maybe one of the reasons I didn't even realize I was competing until in the moment, because it's such a loving and accepting and warm environment. It's just like you feel like you have an entire sea of family in the audience listening to you and supporting you and rooting for you, and then not just your sponsors and your house hosts, who are also amazing and wonderful, but everybody's just so excited to be there, and they just love hearing music and love hearing singers, and they come up to you and they say the kindest things, and it was just like, yeah, what a wonderful environment to be in, and what a wonderful environment to compete in. Honestly, I wish all competitions were like that from from what I've heard anyways. I hear some are a little more cutthroat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably not comparable with The Voice or
Yeah.
I can't even think of the other one. The Idol. Yeah. But you're right. It is a warm environment. It's a giving environment too. And I've enjoyed every season that I've been able to watch. Mickey asked last year if I wanted to compete. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. We'll see. So how did you get from there? Well, I guess you had been doing the MTC Music Academy before that, or
just like a few months prior. I opened my business December 1st, 2019. Like I said, you're to be brave.
Okay.
I taught lessons on the side for many years. I was music directing mostly here in New York. Before that, performing a lot, musical theater, which I guess you are being judged in auditions, but feels different in a competition setting. But anyway, so I did that for a while, musical theater, performing, and then it was music directing, teaching on the side. It was like, when people needed help with an audition or like, here and there. I didn't really have any consistent students. And I found myself when I was coaching singers, I was like, I wish I had more time with them. I wish we could go on this journey together and like, really grow and really see some change and improvement. And so I kept saying, I'm going to open my studio. I'm going to open a studio. And I just never did, but I did it finally in December. So we just celebrated our 6-month anniversary.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, on June 1st.
And 3 of those months have been in quarantine.
Yes. It's been quite interesting, to tell you the truth. I was actually very hesitant to teach online. I'll tell you, because I am such a people person and I love being around and near people. And that's one side of it. But the other side of it, as a teacher, is like, how am I going to be able to hear what I need to hear? How can I see? I'm very hands-on with consent, obviously. Very hands-on and like to see what is happening in your body, because your whole body is your instrument. So I was a little hesitant, and I was hesitant about internet quality and things like this. But honestly, it's been so great. I would never have expected it to go so well, and for me to be able to hear still and be able to work almost at the same level that I would be in person.
Oh, that's great. That's a testament to not what we just experienced.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, it does happen sometimes. So
yeah.
Say.
But you have to roll with the punches. You have to reset and come back and go to commercial break, whatever you need to do. Right?
Exactly. And I think people understand that, because everybody is online these days. Everybody's Zooming or FaceTiming or what have you. So everyone's like, oh yeah, it's that.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned musical theater. Were you on Broadway, or was it more of a?
Not on Broadway. No, I did a couple tours, off-Broadway show, some new works, things like that. And my personal experience, what I found as a performer after about 4 years of doing it, I would get in an audition room and I would so often get the feedback of, oh, we really like you, but we don't know what to do with you. So, or I would get that feedback, or I would get, you're just very young for your type. Right? Which is, I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm very tall. I read older on stage. I'm an old soul. So, but my voice is very light, and I'm a soprano. So I walk in a room and they expect me to sound like Ethel Merman, but I don't, and I never will. So yeah, it's kind of like a disconnect. But that's why I really love doing new works, because, there's not a lot of preconceived notions about what a character should be or how a character should sound or look like. And I'm very thankful. My husband, he writes a lot of music, and we get to sing together, and that's really fun. So I still get to perform a little bit with him, even when I'm teaching, which is nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple performers in my household. Myself, my daughter, who just went through the junior competition.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So she actually made it to the finals. She was not a winner, of course, but that's okay. She had a great time.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And became friends with Mickey, of course, through that. And wow, you were at a great Frozen face right now. It is. I'm really enjoying it. So everybody applaud Tegan for her Frozen face. It's quite astounding. I'll wait till she comes back, and then we'll talk again. I hope. What? I think I hear her. Is she back?
Here, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is my face still frozen?
No, it is. It's moving like this a little bit.
Oh boy.
But that's okay. As I was saying that my daughter, she had a great time. We became friends with Mickey, and she actually did another competition just recently with classical music, CMI, I think, Classical Music International, or it's like based on a magazine about classical music, classical singing. That was it, classical singer. And she did it online. Originally, she was invited to come to Washington, but of course, everything closed down. She did it online. But I'm very familiar with being in a family of singers or performers. So I enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm sure. Do you guys ever sing together?
We do. Actually, my daughter and I, not this past year, but the year before, we did Annie together. She played Annie, and I shaved my head. Yes, I was.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna take my glasses off because the glare is driving me crazy.
Okay.
That's really sweet. How special for her that she did with her dad.
It was special. Here's the funny thing about it, though, is I think I have a softer spot in my heart for it than she does, because when she came into it, she's like, "Dad, I'm 15." Wait, was she 14? She was 14, and she was playing Annie. So for her, it was like, I'm too old for this role. And I said, Molly, this is probably the last time you'll get to play somebody this age. So enjoy it. And she did in the end. We had a great time, and it's a great memory.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I love my family very much, but I am the only musical one.
Oh.
My little brother sings in choir too, but my parents aren't singers. That's okay. They're great at many other things. So that's really nice. That's really special. She's gonna cherish that for the rest of her life. That's so nice.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope she carries on with it too for a long time.
Sounds like she's pretty talented.
I think so.
It's okay to brag.
Yeah, I think so. Those of you watching, you know my daughter, so you can also agree. Get off your duffs and agree. What are you waiting for? Anyway, so did you do musical theater as a child?
Well, actually, I came pretty late into musical theater. I've been singing my whole life, and I got involved in choir in 4th grade in church. I just joined the choir there, and then from there, my middle school and high school choir director was like, "You need to come sing in my choir at school," and my whole life was changed. My trajectory is now choir.
Yeah.
And so I was very busy and in a lot of things in high school. I was also in sports. I was involved in choir, academics, all the things. And I just
so I got to ask this real quick. You said sports. You said you're 6 feet tall.
Yes.
Did you play basketball?
I sure did. I get this question a lot. I was not that good at it. And a fun story I like to tell is my sophomore year of high school, we had a really bad game. The varsity team did, and I sat the bench varsity. I got in at the very last minute if we were ahead, one of those. And so he called a last minute morning practice the next day, and I had all-state choir rehearsal the next morning. And if you didn't go to this required rehearsal, you didn't get to go to All State. So I was like, I can't miss it. And I told him about this, what do I do? And he was like, well, you have a decision to make. So I did. Bye. And I clearly made the right one because that's what I'm doing. So, but yeah. So I played for a little bit. I played middle school and through sophomore year. But
oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm 6'3", so up until like maybe my 30s, I'm past my 30s now a little bit, but I would get questioned that all the time. It's like, did you play basketball or do you? And I'm like, no, I have no sports ability whatsoever.
Yeah, I get it in like elevators. Oh, you're tall. Do you play basketball?
Yeah,
I did. Yes. Or volleyball. People ask me about volleyball, but I didn't play volleyball actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I got volleyball too, but not as much as basketball.
Right.
And then my son, he's actually 6'4", and he outclasses me by maybe 30 or 40 pounds. So he always gets that. You play football? You should play football. That's what they always say. They say you should play football.
Yeah, you should be a tight end.
No, you shouldn't. You're fine. You're okay.
Yes. Please don't run into people with helmets and pads and stuff until you have brain damage.
So going back to MTC Music Academy, what is the majority of your students are younger or older, or is it a mix?
It's a mix. I have, well, actually, I guess now the majority of my students are adults. I have 2 younger students. They're both 10. So I don't teach younger than 10 usually. Not because it's like, something I don't usually or can do. I just, I prefer to teach a little bit more mature singers.
Right.
But I have a great teacher who teaches for me, who teaches young singers. She teaches our like young singing pop star classes that we have here. And she's great with kids. Like, this is her calling. That's what she should do. So that's why I hired her, because she's amazing. So yeah, but my adult students also range from voice. I teach voice, but I also teach musicianship and piano. And I don't often teach piano, but I do play. Not like my husband. My husband's a genius. So good. He's the pianist of the family. I just play out of necessity. But yeah, I end up teaching, when I teach musicianship, we kind of tie it in with some piano skills too. So I teach that a lot as well.
Cool.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was going to say, so if I'm looking to broaden my spectrum, let's say I consider myself a singer, but I've never sung in public. And this isn't me.
You were Daddy Warbucks.
Right. I have sung in public, but say I want to be able to sing, and I've never sung before in public, and I'm a little cautious about it. How do I find you guys, and what do I do?
Yeah, well, we have a great website, www.mtcmusicacademy.com. It's actually in the process of being updated, so it's not totally updated right now. But honestly, I think the easiest way to follow us is on Instagram at MTC Music Academy, or Facebook, same, MTC Music Academy. We post a lot of content, and then also like what we're doing and how to get a hold of us, and what we're offering there. But often a lot of my students have come to me word of mouth or recommendation, which is great. And I think that's our specialty is people who love singing and have always found joy in it, but want to improve their skills, or maybe want to learn to read music, or both. I have one of my students I've been working with for about 2 years. He's a stand-up comedian and a lawyer, and he just loves karaoke. And he came to me 2 years ago. He's like, I want to sing Sam Smith, and I want to sing Maroon 5. And I was like, great. And we start vocalizing, and he is a bass, right? He's not so much up there, but he can fully sing in his falsetto now, which is great. And he really wasn't matching pitch when he came, but he worked so hard. He's like one of my most diligent students, and he's matching pitch great now, and he's singing in his stand-up shows, and it's really wonderful to see. Like that's my favorite success story is, not Broadway necessarily, but like, which is great too. Nothing against Broadway, but
Right.
To see someone who just loves singing so much, and then they can back it up with the confidence too that they were maybe lacking beforehand. That's my favorite thing that happens.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't mention this before, but my son is a pianist. Did I say that?
No,
Yeah.
you didn't. How old is your son?
He's 18, and he's pretty good. I can't get him to play enough. He majored in piano in high school, and so now he's done with that, and he's going to college. And unfortunately, there's not a major where he's going in piano. It's not a performing arts school. It's he wants to go like a computer technical track. But I dearly hope that he holds on to it. I'm looking to see if he's playing right now.
Okay, is he listening? I hope so too. We have my husband also actually teaches with the academy, teaches piano. He wanted to take some lessons there in college. But we have a student right now who just graduated high school, and he is the same. He's going to a college that doesn't have a music program, so he's been studying jazz harmony with Assaf and like rearranging songs with different harmonies, different chords, and it's amazing to see what this kid can do. Like he's so talented, and we're like, you need to major in this.
Yeah,
you're so good at it. Like we want you to be a music director. He's so good, but this is everybody has their own journey, so
right.
Whatever he chooses.
Yeah. He's of the Shire faith. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. My mom says, this is my mom. She likes to watch.
Hi, Mom.
I'm here, but my comments keep disappearing. So there it is, Mom. There's your comment.
Hi, Mom. Oh, that's cool that they pop up on the screen like that.
Yeah, and there it just disappeared. So.
Does your mom live in Savannah too?
She does not. She lives in a small town called Springfield, South Carolina. And it's about 300 people that live there. So she's not too far away. She's only about 2 hours away. So we get to see each other from time to time. Not often enough, according to her. And me too. We don't see each other often enough. I agree, Mom.
Yeah, I hear that. My family lives in Kentucky. So I don't see them a lot either. We did get to go down there a couple of weeks ago. We got tested negative for the COVID, and so did my family. So we were like, we're gonna hop in the car, drive down, spend some time. We got some much needed fresh air, and so that was nice. But up until then, I hadn't seen them since Christmas.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
so, yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, I did go see my mom around Mother's Day. We went and spent the day with her. So that was nice. But this is hard now for families for sure, especially in distant places. I often talk about that experience, but I do like to talk about performance more right now.
Yes.
Speaking of performance, you mentioned that you might have a song for us today.
Yes. I have to go into our studio where a song is.
Okay. Would you like to exit our studio until you get set up again, and I can just give another commercial break?
Yeah, we can do that. Just so you like not jumping all over the place.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I'm going to let you get set up, and I'll take some viewer comments if you feel like it.
So I just leave studio and then come back in.
You don't have to leave. You can stop
the camera.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, she's going to go reset herself, and we're going to wait patiently. Let's see what's going on today. Well, the sun is behind the clouds now. There's some birds out there. There's a couple of cats wandering around. Yeah, not too much happening on the street here. Mailman hasn't come yet. We're waiting on the mailman to show up. That's pretty exciting. Who doesn't love the mailman, right? I love to see things dropped into my mailbox, even if it's just bills and advertisements, and also Democratic and Republican information for those who like that kind of thing. Wow, I'm just going on and on right now. Don't be impatient, Chris. It'll happen soon enough. Wait, are you saying I'm impatient or are you impatient? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me. Yeah. Oh, I could sing a song. Let's see if I have any songs in my head right now. Just what makes that little old ant think he can move that rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. Uh-oh. What are you saying? I lost my concept of time. So yes, you are impatient. Very impatient, Chris Susi. So I'm so glad you got to share that brief musical moment with me. But I would be remiss if I did not share the stage with someone else right now. Also, let's see, we have two people coming up. Assaf and Tegan. Take it away.
Hello.
Hi, I'm here to sing high hopes along with you. That was awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't think of anything else to sing right now because, I don't know, the day just kind of called for that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's a very positive message.
Absolutely. So are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're going to sing a favorite of ours and of many, I think. It's a Joni song, Both Sides Now. And Assaf has created a really lovely arrangement of it. So
nice. We're
just going to do it for you.
All right. Well, I'll let you take the stage.
Okay. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done. The clouds got in the way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's love's illusion I really don't know how. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing away it feels, and every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it is love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears, feeling proud to sing I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I looked at life that way, but now all friends they're acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I looked at life from both sides now, from close from both sides now, from the back down. Still somehow it's come to illusion time. I really don't know.
That was beautiful. That really was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I haven't heard that song in so long, but yeah, it just and it really speaks to the time we're in now. So
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Assaf, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
Very good. I believe so. I came to the judges concert for the last American Traditions competition. I believe I heard you play a bit there.
At the judges concert?
Yeah. Did you play for?
No, I don't think I did. Not
Okay.
The judges was all day. David.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he has much shorter hair than you do.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
This
that is quarantine. Right here.
We're measuring quarantine by his fro.
That's awesome. So, how long have you guys been together?
Almost. We're always like
5, 6.
6 years. It'll be 6 years together in November.
Yeah.
We've been married just 3 years in April, and yeah, he's the best thing to come into my life.
Aw, that's so sweet. Yeah. I heard an agreement there, so that's good. That's good. Well, I thank you so much for coming and telling me your story today and telling me about MTC Music Academy. I'm hoping that I can get some people to come in and try it out. And you offer 30-minute classes for free. Is that right?
Yeah, we have a 30 minutes mini session for free just to come talk to us and talk about goals and things and see if we're a good fit. And if you feel like you're a good fit, then we can start enrollment in lessons. And we do just a monthly enrollment. That's not, required to do every month. But if, since you want to keep going, please, we'd love to help you. But yeah, and we do 60-minute lessons, usually once a week, sometimes twice, depending on what people's needs are. Mm-hmm. And we can do them from anywhere, which is the one positive thing about teaching online during this pandemic is that I can teach students from all over the place. So that's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a baby grand over there that's going to be missing its player. So maybe I'll take you up on one of those lessons.
Yeah. We totally just respond the exact same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to. Let us know.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, again, thanks for joining us today. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. And hopefully I'll see you in Savannah soon.
Yes. Flying
tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah, let's get coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So distanced coffee.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. You guys have a great day.
You too. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
You're welcome. Bye. They are just lovely people. I'm sure you'll agree. Thanks for joining me today. Thursday, June the 11th. I said it before. I'll say it again. I apologize for my internet issues, but sometimes that happens. But I'll see you tomorrow. You guys hang out for a second. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more.